Well, unfortunately, they can't squeeze one more dime out of you after you die, right? They want to squeeze as much out of you, right? From the moment you're born, you're in this world, in this reality, this physical world. You got a birth certificate, a certificate to be birthed, a certificate to be dead, registration and stuff like that. So, AP exclusive says U.S. Embassy car was likely targeted in Mexico attack on CIA officers. You guys remember this? What I was saying that they were spooks, and someone bashed me in the comment board again, and it ended up that they were. A senior U.S. official says that there is strong circumstantial evidence that the Mexican federal police who fired on a U.S. Embassy vehicle, they called them diplomats, and I called them spooks. So, wounding 2 CIA officers were working for organized crime in a targeted assassination attempt. And you know why, right? Because the agencies, they manage the drug trade, dude. That's what a Mexican politician just said recently in an article from, I believe, Al Jazeera. So we have Mexican diplomat says America pretty much invited the Sinaloa drug cartel across the border. Remember what I said? That's who they're backing, the Sinaloa drug cartel, and taking out the Zetas and that. Competition, that's what it's about. Leaked emails from the private U.S. security firm Stratford cite Mexican diplomat who says the U.S. government works with the Mexican drug cartels to traffic drugs into the U.S. and has sided with the Sinaloa cartel in an attempt to limit the violence in Mexico. And I just had an article, but I lost it. And it was about Mexican troops being deployed outside one of their main cities. I don't know if it was Mexico City. Due to the drug violence, people are basically they're scared. They have to make these payments to these cartels and stuff like that. Otherwise, they get killed, them and their families. So they had troops deployed in the city. Univision finds more weapons linked to Fast and Furious. The ATF's operation allowed over 2,000 guns to walk in the hands of the dangerous Mexican drug cartels. So Univision News found 57 unreported firearms from Fast and Furious, and the 3 of these weapons were used in the massacre on January 30th, 2010. So who does gain from the drug trade? Well, the private prison scam is a key component of this as well, says Cryptagon from Al Jazeera. It says that one ambiguous winner is the Western banking sector down here. In recent years, a series of American and British banks, including Wachovia, HSBC, have been caught providing banking services to drug dealers. The head of the UN Office in Drugs Crime told Observer newspaper that in many instances, the money from the drugs was the only liquid investment capital that the banks could access during the credit squeeze in 2008. There were signs, he said, that some banks were rescued that way. And here's a little thing, a typical money laundering scheme, talking about HSBC and the global drug trade. George Carlin from 1996, the death penalty doesn't mean anything unless you use it on people who are afraid to die, like the bankers who launder drug money. The bankers who launder the drug money. Forget the dealers. You want to slow down that drug traffic, you got to start executing a few of these fucking bankers. White, middle-class Republicans